All right, welcome to Education with Python Passion. We've got a youngin here that hatched a few months back and she still hasn't started feeding yet. You can kind of see here, I hope I'm getting it on film anyway, where she's starting to develop this loose skin. She's starting to lose weight and it's visibly noticeable at this point. So we don't want to leave her too long or she could die. So we are going to attempt to assist feed her. So I've got a pre-killed pinky rat here. And what we're going to do to assist feed, this is not force feeding, this is assist feeding. We're trying to get the start of the feeder in their mouth, and then we're going to let them do the rest. So we're going to get them right here behind the jaw. You want to make sure that you're not blocking the esophagus, so we don't want to grab them on the bottom. We want to grab them on the sides. They're going to be fighting and struggling with you. You can tell that she is. And then you're going to take the nose of the feeder and put it up against the nose of the snake. Gently lift up and kind of wiggle up and down till you get their mouth open. And then you want to get the feeder. You have to use a little bit of pressure here, but not a whole lot. You want to try to push the feeder into their throat to where they just barely get started on it in their throat. Sometimes they will kind of, if you give them a second to chill out, they'll just start eating, and some of them will try to constrict it. So it really depends on this snake. So I'm just trying to get this in her throat. And then I kind of gently push on the top and bottom just to try to get those teeth hooked just a little bit. And then I'm going to let her sit here for a moment and just kind of chill out. Because sometimes when you're forcing something down their throat, they tend to get a little irate. And so sometimes they do a little bit better if you give them a chance to chill out. Sometimes they'll just go ahead and start eating, and we're going to hope that that's what she's going to do, but we'll see. Her jaws are starting to work a little bit, so I'm hopeful that she will go ahead and eat this. Looks, oh, and there she's trying to constrict it now. So a little bit of a delayed response. I've seen them do that too. Once they kind of start working, the instincts take over and they start working their jaws to try to swallow it, then their instincts really kick in, and it kind of makes them want to constrict it then. So... And during this time, again, I don't rush them. I don't try to handle them and move them around a whole lot right now. because snakes are most vulnerable when they're eating. And so if you jostle them around and stuff a whole lot, it can cause them to spit it back out and not eat. And then you got to start all over. So it's often better. I mean, sometimes it'll take a minute. It can take 15 or so minutes, give or take a little bit, when you've got one like this that hasn't eaten before. So you just want to make sure that you're not startling them or handling them or trying to move them around too much while they're doing this. Because you can get to the point as well that even if they were going to eat this time and you bothered them too much and you stressed them out and you made them too nervous, they won't eat at all. So we don't want to do that. That's the opposite of our goal here. And we should always use this as a last resort, because it is stressful for them, which is generally why I try to make several attempts to get them to eat by themselves before I resort to this. But with some babies, some of them just don't eat. And if they don't eat, they're going to die. And I don't want my babies to die. So I'd rather put them through a little stress and let them get started eating. The second time I offer food to them, I offered a pre-killed rodent to them the second time after I've given them an assist feed like this. If they don't accept it, I will assist feed them again. And I will continue to do that every week, offer them pre-killed food. If they eat it on their own, great. And if they don't, then I assist feed them until they do. You do always want to do this in a quiet room as well. There's not a lot of stuff going on. Um, if you have a dog or cat or something in the room with you, which is not advisable. My cats are not allowed in my snake room at all. But if you do have pets like that, other than your snakes, you don't want them in the room with you, making noise and sticking their nose over, trying to see what it is, just being animals and being curious. But that can also cause a lot of undue stress to the snake that's trying to eat as well. So you do always want to make sure this is in a quiet room where there's not a lot of stuff going on. And that right there is what we want to see. We want to see them swallowing and eating. right. Looks like she's got it swallowed. And that was our goal. So thanks for watching, guys. And I hope you learned something.